Hello and welcome to this epic build. This fairy castle is something that's been in the making for quite some time. I originally done it before the Enchanted by Nature pack and it was a completely different build. The walls are white and I just love everything about the decoration that's brought this build more to life. You'll be able to see both versions on the gallery. I forgot to record the whole of the first build, so my new skills in doing the stop motion with the pictures has made it a lot more possible to get that build in. I was going to add this build a long time ago using this method, but I didn't have the confidence, and now it's been updated with the Enchanted by Nature pack. The Enchanted by Nature pack has drastically changed the aesthetic of this build from the original. It's a lot more focused on like wood and nature, and it's all natural and lots of greenery, where I used a lot of the Get Famous pack before it was updated, and that had a more of a regal vibe with the golds and the columns, and some of that is still in there, especially in the throne room that I created, as well as the two entrance halls. A lot of that is still the original because I kind of wanted to have a bit of a separation, the formal official part of the castle and then also the part where it's been lived in. As with all of my builds, there is no CC, and this one has been particularly play tested to everything I can imagine. So all of the water they can get in, swim around and access, so it's fully functional, especially with the swimming pool. I had to do a lot of changes to some of the pool decorations as I played, just because the Sims were saying, oh no, I'm stuck, I can't swim through a bit of, I don't know what that stuff is, algae, a bit of algae, oh no. Anyway, moving on from that, the rather elongated balcony has a purpose. I originally built so much of the landscaping that there was nowhere to put anything for the garden, so it's kind of meant for a planting area. This is in both of the builds that I done because they were so heavy on the plant base everywhere that it kind of left little room for actually gardening. And what fairy doesn't like to garden? We dip down right into the basement, into the first bedroom that you see. This one is actually surrounded fully by the swimming pool, so then there's a interconnecting corridors to link it up to the main home, which we shot through super quickly. Because the video goes so fast, you don't notice as much later, but on two different levels in this area, there's the roof when you see the landscaping at the end, and then there's another sort of decoration underneath the roof. I done this because when the roof isn't showing and you're on the first floor, it's just a plain bit of land, and it looked really odd and out of place for the rest of the build to just have a circle where there's nothing else included. So I added two forms of decoration for this area. It will be super quick, but if you download it, it'll be a fun little thing to look at, I guess. It was more rare for myself than anything to know that that area wasn't bare just because you can't see the roof. We shot onto my little throne room area. This really has absolutely no purpose, but I think it looks absolutely gorgeous, so that's the reasoning for it. And then also the foyer, which you can see the Realm of Magic pack rather than, yeah, which is also very prominent in this build. It did have a lot of Get Famous in it, and that has also changed. So I stand corrected for earlier. We've gone out into like the little function ballroom area, and we're moving into the second floor where it's actually like the fairies' home. I really enjoy doing little nurseries connected to a main room, whether this is for a nanny or the parents. I love this interconnectivity. The room shapes were a own class of their own difficulty, trying to not just have one of these circular rooms as one room, so I could have the little entrance hall and then the 2 bedrooms together with the nursery, and with another one there's a main bedroom which managed to squeeze a double bed in, and a interconnecting bathroom, I forgot what that's called, an ensuite. The shape on the outside, I love the character it gave to it, but then it posed a lot more trouble trying to put the stairs in and making everything accessible from there on for the inside. This is just one of the towers. This could have easily just been 1 bedroom, a nice big bedroom. Like, however, I like the idea of pushing myself to be able to add more than 1 room and trying to create in these different shapes. Now moving on into the workshop on the 3rd floor. The alcoves proved quite tricky to create much in it, but I went for putting shelving around the outsides to connect it together to make it look like the workshop went into like with more space. And then that leads to the garden area, which flows really nicely from the flower arranging the woodworking into the garden. These 2 towers are very separate. I wanted to have an outside bit that was just floral and connected to a tower, and it just added loads of flowers to make a nice tall tower, basically. I don't know how else to emphasize that. This is like a living area, very standard. Everything just has a lot of plants from here on out, just to emphasize that it's for fairies. A children's room with a really small interconnecting ensuite, and this is actually in the other side of the tower that has the 4 alcoves, so that shape actually worked really well for a bedroom rather than the workshop. This last tower, we're almost there with the library starting with and going up. This is a complete add-on from the original build. This whole tower was just an extra, so you've got the library going up into this room, which is an apothecary room, which hopefully I pronounced correctly. And this leads up to my favourite ultimate area of all, that I put all my creativity in. It started by this roof just not being able to have it separated, where I had the fence around the outside, so I turned it into like a fairy gnome village, and it started with this little area and then it spread across the whole thing and kind of made it look like it was like a city within the castle where all the citizens could live, I guess. And on to the last room, just a nice big grand fairy centric bedroom, nothing too fancy. A lot of the exterior has come from the very first build I done, and it has also been extended, so it's got an extra waterfall around the back. Thank you for joining me for another epic build. Hopefully there will be another one soonish, no guarantees. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that rubbish, but more importantly, do something that makes yourself happy today.